Okay, so now we're on page Kapet. He says, Yisboyer a nation Asa b'mei Mordechai. He says, what's the nace? He says, Bizmana Dormita. This is number Tes Zion. Dormita, Ein Anakevi Yeshena. But even so, the Zer Anpin goes to sleep, and not the Nukva. He always mistalking b'mochem in Zer Anpin, and Iknasa b'Nekeva, so she becomes more powerful. Kedei the Haibonha of a Desaking Partsufa. Kedei Shetuchu Lachzor Apim Ba'amim, so that she should be able to come to him for mating, face to face. Kedei the Be'inyan Rosh HaShofer Shal Rosh Hashanah, we have something over there. At the time of the Dormita, he's the aspect of sleeping. Not only is she not sleeping, the Rabbi Himakabelas is a mochem shalo al yedei zer anpin. She doesn't need him. She's getting her own shefa. So these mochim that are now coming into the nook, boning is binyan partsufa, they build her partsuf. Kadei sha'acha sheyavana partsufa tuchul lachzor upon the beponim is her anpin. So he's going through this again. Kamoshin is boy b'chabricha be'ina the shofer shal rosh hashanah. Then he says in number Yud Zion, he says behechroch, and it has to be yesh ha'ara l'chashgacha zu al yisarach mitzeda, from her. It could be maybe the nook is more hidden. I'm not sure. So from this ha'ara now, there comes the inyan of Mordechai Tzaddik. As we're going to explain, there's no time that we don't have a relationship. Vihi after sheyam shechachashgocha al yadach v'kein anem shachas az hachashgocha al yisrael bebechinas nuk. So then the hashgocha for the Jewish people are going to come for the female aspect. I'm a mekalas oz as a mochen shalah that are going to get her mochen. Now the ara zucha b'shel hamochim and nimshachim tocha nuk. So he says the radiance that comes to the nook bizmana dormita. This radiance that's coming from the female is called Mordechai HaTzadik. Exactly how that works out, I don't know, but that's what he says. And we're going to explain this. So therefore the Hashgacha comes through the nook. The Bechina Zu Mordechai, this Bechina, which we call Mordechai, the Raltach Haman, Lubatel as the Bechina Chazos. Because Mordechai HaTzadik Shuchu Bechinas Zu, who is this Bechina. Now, let me see. Did we do number Yud? I think number Yud went with yesterday, so we have to go on a little bit further to get to Yud Aleph. Where's Yud Aleph? Okay, Yud Aleph is coming up. So he says, Revibir Klipa Zarash. So he wants to explain the Klipa of Zarash, his wife. The Kavanasa Eitzah Shanasa the Haman, and what actually was she doing with her Eitzah? He rose Haman as Mordechai, as Haman saw Mordechai. The Siyayit seems Zarashishta, so he actually got the main advice of how to handle Mordechai from his wife. It says then he had 365 advisors, so each one for one day of the solar year. Also the rabbis then said like this, and what she had to say, one person against the 365 that he had a congregation of supposedly evil wise men, she was greater than they. So coming over here, let's see number Yud Ches. Number Yud Ches down below says, so since he saw that Zer Anpin is sleeping, so to speak, the celestial Zer Anpin, so therefore he's going to have to take care of Mordechai, who represents the light that's coming from Malchus. So because of the fact of that, And because of this, there is no Ishgacha for the Jews. Shol Haman as Zaris Ishto, and the 365 Yoatzav. Kadas ma la'asos kadei laharag as Yisro as in order to want to destroy the Jews. From a rozecha v'ki garish gezarish hoysach machshefa gedoda v'shekula atzasa kenega kol hashasa yoatzim. So he just repeated it, what was up there. Now let's go to number Yud Tes. I guess we have to read across and then come back as best we can to look at the Shefa. So over here, number Yud Tes, it says v'alsa eight sasam. The harag is Mordechai v'losach of the eight. So this is remember this than the last time, and to hang him from a tree or a long pole of some sort. V'hu zondo shal nachosh, and this was supposed to represent the tail of the serpent. Hemshech regula kuf, and how do they do this? This is probably could get a lot more explanation, but here it comes. Hemshech regula kuf. The letter kuf represents the long part of the kuf that comes down. He's a kambavur b'tzleinu, a k'nizka b'sefer hazohir, shir hashirim, v'dai b'zen. So that's enough said about that. V'etzasam sha'al l'harag as Mordechai. So how are they going to get rid of Mordechai? They're going to get a hold of him, and then they take him, and they're going to hang him from a tree. Now what we're talking about, what is Mordechai represents the ha'ara that's coming from the No.4 Shgacha for the Jewish people. In order to destroy that, they have an idea that they have to hang him from I'm not sure what the symbolism is, from the tail of the serpent. I'm not sure the symbolism. Let's just say maybe something will come up. So why 50 amas? The haknis as ha'aras Mordechai. So what he wanted to do was take the light that comes out of Mordechai, once again, which is the light of the nook coming out of the nook, to send him into the dark world. What's the nachash? Which starts pouring downwards. So let's take like this. The final hay of Yud-K Vav-K, Shashem Avaya, Nimshach v'Yorad Lamata. So they take the hay and they extend it downwards. So they want to take that light of the Nuk Zeranpin, the female aspect of Malchus. They want to take that light and they want to extend it into the Kali. These words are, he says v'Yored Lamata ayidei shachaklipos nitlim bo. It's the klipos that are going to hang him. That should be able to go into the Kali. Now there's a lot in this of how they're able to make a pole of 50 amas, which is exactly a certain size, how they're able to take that and make that into a concept that would hang Mordechai into the darkest places. He os he hu murchab b'shtei osius, which are actually daled and vav. So as they're hanging down to the letter vav, into os nun, and it made the final hay instead of a vav of just one line. It's a long line. It becomes the kuf. So therefore it wants to hang him to something that's 50 amas long. Why? Shehu sod ha'os nun, because this 50 is the concept of stretching the final hay and bringing it into Gehenim, or bringing him in to the darkest places. Shehu regala os kuf. The motion is boyer bezorah b'sheish shira shirim inyan zu v'ranza the haknes as Mordechai the bechina zu v'yahargo goso, and this will kill him. V'hayedecha bezecha yibad l'chopago as kocho, and this is right, taking the situation of Mordechai shining as the letter hey and moving it into, extending it down, as somehow the thought is to do that through this eighth, And then they would be able to get a hold of him and dominate him and bring him down into that lower world. And so this is the way Shal Yisrael they can destroy the people that they hate, the Jews. So if they would have been able to do that, the Vatal is Aris Hanuk. So he wants to take the Nuk that is the final letter of the Hey. They understood this in such a way that they could find a way to stretch it out and make it into a Nun, and made part of it into a Nun instead of a Vav. It corresponds to the concept of the 50 amas of the of the pole. So he said, Anuk Nikras Mordechai Atzadik. So then Zer Anpin is no longer guarding. We know that because there's a dormita. So then Zah would be sleeping, and the Nuk would have her feet into the lowest places imaginable. So it came if it would go, if they would have succeeded, they would have been able to do that. So then what happens is that Hashem causes the light that's coming from up above to start shining. And you would see there, you had the greatest of Mordechai and Esther, and through this, so we're going to get into that more. So now we're putting Achashverosh into the mix. The Hashmid is Yisachar Bizman Dormita to destroy them at that time. So this is the miracle. The miracle is that he causes the Nuk now to become a tremendous mashpia into the Jewish people. He bechinas Mordechai Esther. Now he brings in the name Esther. So he says this is the aspect of Mordechai and Esther. That he's able to, in the soul, the Yisrael, as we're going to go into as we go on further. So let's see what I can do here. So we're going to go back to page Kaf Gimel. And we're going to go down to the Shefa Brachos, and we're going to see number Yud Aleph. Ros Haman as Mordechai, this is what we're quoting on. Let's go on to the light print. For I'll call upon him. So you have to wonder about this. So what do they need to actually do? They're going to bring him down into tremendous tuma. That's really what's going to get him involved in that. I don't know the connection. So it's simple, kill him. Ella habir bezelhu, but the real explanation is this. So now let's talk about something else. He is actually the vehicle by which the Bechinas Ad Yonah Shel Yisod Abba is going to come out. Kamoshi is Bar L'Cholon. We're going to get to that. His kedusha was so great. I should call Klal Yisrael Hushgach Al Yado, that through this Ha'ara, which is called Mordechai Tzaddik, he says that all of us are saved from this. There was a tremendous war between those two. So then they started talking about this. There's going to be a struggle here. How are they going to do that? They're going to have to bring him, I don't really understand the metaphor 100%, but they have to bring him into tremendous tumah. And in that place, he'll never get out. Let's go on to the next one, number Yud Base. What happened here? So let's see what happened over here. I had a little video problem, so let's go to number Yud Bet. Number Yud Bet says, So then they decided they're going to kill Mordechai. Because of the Eitz Chaim, Shar Purim Perakei, he says that Kavanasam Chosed the Harag is Mordechai Yehudi, by Yedei Zecha the Bado Machanok as the Arasi Yisod the Abba. So therefore they would there's a new concept. It's really a light which we're going to see later on. It's really a light that's coming from the Yisod of Abba. Shuchel B'Bechinas Mordechai, which is actually the aspect of Mordechai. Which is found in her at the time of this big sleep. As we're going to get into it later. By Yedezel the Banto Binyan Beis Hamikdash, and this will stop the ability to be able to rebuild the Beis Hamikdash, Shehu B'Bechinas Malchus, which is the actual establishment of a place for the dwelling of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. So the pasuk Mikdash Adni. So we're going to stop here and go on, and we'll pick it up next time.